Hello and welcome to North Lanarkshire Council's online visual arts programme. My name is Rachel. Welcome to week 3 and our overarching theme is Blast into Nature. So let's make a wee start. Okay, so today we are going to be making nature looms. So we're going to be doing some weaving with these nice materials that I have here. So yeah, you can just collect this stuff if you're out and about from your garden, things like that. So here is an example of one that I have already made. So this is a 3-stick one, but today I'm going to be showing you how to make a 4-stick one. Alright, so you want to have 4, maybe roughly about the same size, and we're going to lay them out like this. Alright, so we're going to take, we've got a wee selection of strings here. I'm going to use a couple of different colours, and we're just going to bind our edges like we've done with this one here. Alright, so just make a wee knot and then just start wrapping that around. So whenever you're doing this, try and keep it at the angle that you want it to be at, which is, in this case, 90 degrees. Alright. And then you can tie this off whenever you reach the end. But don't worry too much because it should actually just be quite tight itself, so it shouldn't move too much, and you can trim your little ends whenever you have that done. Okay, so don't worry if your loom isn't totally even, totally straight, because it is just, it's made from sticks that you find, and it's never going to be perfect. So whatever kind of shape you've got, that's totally fine, and it'll be nice to work with the different shapes. So the one that I showed you earlier, you can make one with 3 sticks. You can use as many sticks as you want, really. And as big as you want as well, I should say. Alright, so once you've got your ends tied off, you can tidy those up later, just cut them off. But our next step is we're going to take some string. So I've got a big roll of string here. And we're going to start at one corner, doesn't matter which one. And we're going to do a little double knot. Alright, and again we can kind of tidy this up later, but pull your knot down towards the middle. Try and keep it as neat as possible, so your knots kind of come down this way. So you then want to start wrapping your string up and round, but you might find it quite helpful to do a little loop here just to secure it in place, okay? So the further you go, the easier it'll get, because your string will be nice and tight and there'll be some tension in there. So just, yep, hold your thumb on it, keep it nice and secure, do your wrap, and then work down to the next side. Okay, so you might notice once you start getting to the end, it's going to be harder to pass your string up through. At that point, hold it nice and securely and roughly kind of guess how many more laps you're going to need, and then a wee bit of excess. So I'm going to guess about that much. Make a little cut. And move this up. Okay, so once I've kind of done my last one, that might reach down to the bottom there. So maybe not. Let's call it up here. So I'm just going to take that, do a couple of loops, and then flip it over, and I can tie it. I've got this nice bit here, and I can pass my end through and just tie that off. Alright, so if you notice your strings maybe got a wee bit messed up or a wee bit loose along the way, you can kind of just move it back over, pull your sticks, make sure they're still nice and taut, and jiggle this over. But don't worry too much, because it's quite a nice process that we're going to be working with all this organic material, all these flowers and leaves and whatever else we've kind of found while we're out and about. And whenever we start adding those through as well, it's going to pick up a bit of tension. Alright. Okay, so now we have our loom. Here we go. And again, if you were going to use this, it's just the same process. Just wrap it around. Make sure you're getting those loops along your edges. Okay, so now I've got this collection of things. I'm going to start maybe with some of these nice long green pieces. So whenever you're weaving, you want to go under one, over the next one, and you're just repeating that the whole way. So it's not as easy with natural things because they're a bit stiffer, they're a bit harder, and it might be quite hard to work them through. But don't worry too much about getting it exact, and actually your strings being a wee bit looser is quite helpful. So maybe keep your piece as far back as you can so that your end is always working through those quite nicely. Okay. So here we go. Under one, over one, under one, over one, and just keep pulling that through as you come, okay? And then you can kind of pull this up. So you have these little loose bits at the end, you can just leave those. You could kind of weave them back in, maybe through the next bit. Or you can just leave them loose and cut them off at a later stage. But you can see at this point, the way I'm going, the alternate way, I'm going over this one where previously I'd gone under. So don't worry too much about that being quite messy and quite loose because it'll fill out as we go. So let me see, I might start from this side this time. So this one's over, so I'm going to go under. And it's much easier with these, you can see, stiffer materials that are easier to kind of push through. And you can see now we've kind of started on the same pattern as this one, so these strings are both going over. Alright. And Maybe I'll try yellow one this time. So this one's a bit broken, but that's okay. Let's see how we get on. It's a much thicker stock as well, so you might need to use a little bit of brute force to get these through at points, but it should be fine. Alright, so you would finish along the bottom here, but maybe now I want to just start adding some things in. So I'm going to break this and I can even just kind of add them in, let me see, diagonally. And just sort of build up a nice collage almost on your piece, and your tension here, whenever you've moved everything up, will hold all of these in place quite nicely. Oh, maybe I'm just going to cut this one. Alright, and there we have it. So you can keep going if you want. You can put as much in this as you want, as little as you want, but it's a really lovely thing to do. And if you wanted to kind of get really experimental and go big scale, you could even do it between branches of a tree. Take your string outside, wrap it around the tree branches and start weaving bigger things in through it. So you can get really experimental with this. And they're really lovely. It's nice to hold it up to the light and see, yeah, like the different kind of shapes and patterns that are made. Alright, so that's how we make it.